Twitch.tv. I'm not logged in. Awesome. Acres. I'm not even logged in on like anything. In the taskbar, we need to sign into LastPass. Then you need to log into WAYLF. And then you need to... Oh no, now I got this crap. I gotta go to the WAYLF mail, which is on Zoho Mail, which doesn't, I don't have the thing for it anymore. I didn't. Yes, WAYLF. Guess that. I have security. So many steps. Right, where is it? I think it's under my Authy? Yep, sure is. Alright, we got that. Yeah. Yes, trust the browser for 180 days. Confirm. Marketing. Twitch. Awesome. We get that. We got that code. Three notifications. Channel. Oh, that's why I disabled that. Alright. I just want to make sure the audio is fine on this. Now I need to open up my thing to just pause the audio, check the audio levels. Perfect. Think. We'll go with that, nonetheless. Alright. What are we doing? We're giving ChatGPT a lot of information on how the app works and trying to create the different components because I don't know how to program. So I want to give my idea to someone else to program. And to do that, we need to define the idea. How do we define the idea? Well, that's what we're trying to do now. I think that the best way to do it is via components. Get a good sense of like the overall things of how everything interacts and how it's different and how it should work. See what the workflows are for the users, and then see what the end user is supposed to see and what features entails within those features. So the first one is the is the very basics of the non-negotiable filters. The whole thing's based on filters, and what's the most important filter there is? That's the non-negotiable filter. The filters that you know for sure, your non-negotiable filters are what we're trying to find. What are you looking for? Well, to do that, what are you not looking for? You can discover what you're looking for, but once you found something that you're not looking for, just toss that to the side and go, all right, I'm not looking for this. I want someone that actually likes the same things I do or likes this specific thing. And we want to find out what's important next. That's another feature. But right now, non-negotiables. Basically, in the app, non-negotiable is used as a marker to indicate if someone doesn't feel the same way about something or doesn't meet someone's standards. Meet the standard. Meet their standard. Then they don't want to see them. These will also have the account from another person. Essentially a filter for you'd match with. When asking, this filter will show up as about their preferences on things. Entertainment, media, hobbies, sports. I have a big old list of that too. So if we go over to the info dump and we say the organization, alright, so we got genders, we got lifestyle, or this is preferences on things. So we're looking for more of a somewhere. This entertainment. Preferences on things. So where are the preferences? These are like physical characteristics, head, hair, body. Is it here? Entertainment, hobby. I don't think we got that far. Yeah. So hobbies, sports, their values. On control. Seal topics. Actually, I had something better. Where was that list? It was something about... oh, wait. Things about... I'm sure ChatGPT won't care about my spelling. They... They have pets, children. They own vehicles, bikes. Yeah, I don't know about this one. This one can be like really summarizing like what's your hobby, I guess, or like, it's not your mode of transportation, but I guess this is like transportation device, equipment. I don't know. Hobbies, values. Kids, travel, move to. I don't know what like value. I think this is more things you want in the future that involve the other person. I mean, you could also like, I guess the things they want in the future, like. Style. Housing. Job. I don't have a good one for sexual preferences. Yet. I actually just thought of a thing where people could actually be in chat, but they're not, so no worries. This is more for me. Let's see what ChatGPT says. How will users set their non-negotiables? Alright, yeah, that's a really good question. There are two different ways for non-negotiable interactions. Action points. View on their profile settings and sorry, I gotta pause to unplug this soundbar because the RGB lights are not fun. They're not fun. They get in my eyes and distract me. Alright, interaction points. They view view on their profile settings and wait. Profile settings as a form of a list of current non set ability to remove ability to view non-negotiables from the list, and we also have ability to go to where the non future. Then we have ability to like sort by view how many people each list by popular non-negotiables, local country. A country? I'd like to see those statistics. Like, does it differ from each state to see? I don't know. I mean, it could be helpful. It's helpful for me. And I think if we can, we should. But at the very least, I want to have local and world. Popular non-negotiables, we got most, or yeah, I guess popular, I guess most used. That just indicates popularity, but I don't want to define someone's level of popularity. Like, are they popular because they're useful, or are they popular just I don't know. Popular. They're popular. It's a popular choice. So at least sort the list by non-negotiables and whatever. Like, eventually evolve into that, but also eventually evolve into like more guided experience and recommendeds and sort is the basic feature of that. anyway, so we interacted with like a list of it. We can go to the different non-negotiables we have set. We can add, or we can't add because adding is in a different place. I don't think adding right from that list is good from the I want to do it, but I can't think of an easy way to actually implement that feature. Because if you try to add, like, do an add button, then you goes a list of how many people. All right, shows a list of how because a lot of people have it set, but it's not. I don't think that'd be a useful thing to just know how many people it could filter out. Because sometimes it's like a lot of people have it set. That's a tough one. Because we still don't know what the non-negotiables are going to be. And having the option just to add it and like display it. Add to non-negotiables. At the very start, it's not. Add to non-negotiables. Let's just say that. I don't want to think about it too much since there's so many other things that needs to be done. So we get the profile settings so we can set our non-negotiables. We want to list out our current, and in these profile settings, we need to have a list of every non-negotiable we've ever set. And when we see that, we at least, at the very, very, very core of it, we want the ability to remove from that list. We want to freely add and remove to this non-negotiable list. This list is only for us, and not only for us, but it's also for this non-negotiable list. Also helps the other people that you aren't actually looking for. It's a two-way. Like, this button is so fucking important to be able to like let people know what you're looking for. And like, this is one of those things that I'm looking for. Then if you don't meet this, then you're automatically ruled out. I want to know when I'm ruled out. So just seeing this at the very least, being able to freely set and remove non-negotiables is a key feature. So core to the app. Because this is basically a who are you looking for list. Like, feature or qualities in a person that you truly are looking for. What matters most to you? This defines what matters most to so freely add and remove to this list and allow. What does this do? It allows user to filter, like, hide all the profiles that don't meet their standard, and hides their profile from Got that. So I should just follow ChatGPT. I went up a whole tangent there. So what do we have? So we have how will users set their non-negotiables? Will it be a dedicated section for this in their profile settings? So yes, it is they don't set it in the profile settings yet, but to do that, you need to go into the I don't know a name for this yet. It's like a or user data collection, like personality. It's not. It's none of those things. It's just collecting information about a person. It's a good name to call the system. I need to define this first. Let's meet indicator. That's cool, but not important right now. These are like different categories I had coming up with the sub features in them. Different workflows, processes, profile. Is that? No, that's not it. It's like dynamic filter, but I want the system that, like, it's a filtering system, but I haven't got to the asking questions part. This is a huge one, but where do I have the... I actually just named it in the app, like question cards or like user collection page, data collection page. But what is the system? What's a good name for it? To call a system where it tries... It would... what you value the most. Your side. Personalization engine, lifestyle analyzer, compatibility profiler, persona discovery engine, identify matcher, preference profiler. Would we want the word profiler? What's the most marketable term? Personalization engine. Let's call it personalization engine. It's all throughout, like, I think I'm starting with the two categories or two different ways to use the personalization engine. Preferentialization engine. I think I like personalization engine. It's personal. It's personalizing who you are as a person, right? Personalization. Personalization engine. I'll be right back. I gotta poop. non-negotiable. Center on. All right. Non-negotiable. So personalization engine. Each question about them. Each question about them. Each question about them has an option to make this a non-negotiable for the other person. Then in turn lists it in the terms of non-negotiables, and then this would like, what does it do? It filters out, it hides, it allows the user to hide all the profiles that don't meet their standard and hides their profile from the people the user aren't looking for. Yeah, so it hides it both ways. Bidirectional hiding. A personalization engine. Each question about them has an option to make it a non-negotiable for the other person to have. Yeah, to have. Right now, I had a quick thought about having the non-negotiable show up as like an extra item. Like, hey, this person is a non-negotiable, but you also match on like 20 billion things, so is it really that bored? Like, I think that's for later. That's definitely a really good feature later if we're having trouble with people setting too many non-negotiables and having issues. But also, I think it might even be a non-issue later on. So, because people use the engine however the fuck they want. So that's just use it for what it is. Like straight up, like hide this person. I mean, you have the option to unhide them later. That's fine. You can set and remove non-negotiables as freely as you want. I don't want people to judge you for what you're looking for because you don't know what you're looking for. And so no one should see that data specifically. That's my reasoning behind like not tracking non-negotiable changes. I want to have that for the data part, just to kind of know how often that people change their I think there needs to be a limit to what properties need to be shared. And it's like I want to have like a shareable property. False. Yeah, I don't want to good data though. Data usage. Or data usage. So we want to use this for tracking how much non-negotiables will change over the course of being in different relationships. That's a good standard. Like trying to figure out, hey, when you go over this relationship, then you ended up like changing like these non-negotiables. Then holy crap, Like, these are the things that like matter to you enough to change, because you initially thought you like, this is a button that says, hey, you really want this, right? And then you change it and it's like, wow, that must have been a huge change for you. What happened? Like, how much is that going to affect, like, if some people like have the choice to have this non-negotiable, but then ultimately go back on it because they realize it doesn't matter as much. How many times are we going to see that? Or is people going to be more strict with it? I don't know. What? Like, more people add more ships. People. I want to have like a data tracking component. Yeah, then like items tracked. We have non-negotiables. We have dates. We have matches. What, like, I don't. I do want to crack. I want to track everything. I think tracking things and anonymizing the data, like, I think all these factors are really good. I think even just like writing it down as like a potential and just kind of picking out the ones that we want to track the most. Like, what kind of information will we get the most, like, most helpful things out of? Like, just track, like, look at those for a while and see if we can't do it later. But if it's not hard to like add these like metrics, then I want to do it. So we want to track on dates, matches, non-negotiable changes, or non-negotiables. So we got like before and after relationships, total count. But non-equals are set after a relationship. How many changed and ask the question of that. So before and after relationships, total count. Do non-negotiables. I think asking these questions might like really spark people, like, huh, that's a really good question. Like, if people did this, then like, is it working? Like, this is a real measure as to, I think these are real measures in terms of like trying to understand if things are working. Like, is this system working to like bring people together? Is this system like actually having a negative impact? Is it like very neutral and like it doesn't really matter that much? I don't know what these questions mean. Like, what are these, like, how can we truly measure a dating app? Ask the questions. Is this working? Try to figure out if it is working. See the numbers. I love numbers. Lover of the numbers. All right, non-negotiables before and after relationships. How many times the non-negotiables are changed? Like track the times changed on a non-negotiables. Then I think this is an advanced filter too. Like this isn't strictly numbers. This is a before and after relationships total count. So you have to mark down relationships, start, count, start, or start time, end time. Right? Then, oh man, I just thought about like the poly relationships. Like, I, I think they're an outlier in this one for a lot of calculations. Like being able to track multiple and being able to track like when that like specific relationship ended, and like trying to like have the numbers easily like do a search on that. You'd have to compare each of the entries to say this is actually a, like relationship ID 2, and then the other one was ID 4 or ID 4, but then that relationship, no, it's an ID, so it's related to that. Can you have? I guess you have to ID it too. Like you'd have to have the integer of counting the, like identifying which relationship we're talking about, because you can't just say start and end, because if you do start and end, or start end start end, or start end start, like which, now like the count is 3, but you don't know which of those relationships failed, then you have to even go back through. Oh no, we're gonna need to track previous history. No. We have to do previous history. It can't. You have to ID each relationship and store the values of that entire relationship. Like what? That's a big leap. Like I would definitely want to do that, but that's a huge leap in information. You can't just pack all that information into like one thing. Well, maybe it's possible. Maybe if we take a copy of the export during that time, then it has to be like code for the future too. Being able to readily read that too. It's like you read the entire. Someone's got to figure that out. I think just even packaging it and having the option to extract it like that as like I recall the concept in PowerShell where you can just like create your own object and package everything into that one variable, calling that like object of that. It's an object thing. It's like you store the object inside the data of the profile. It's like store a copy of that. Like it's a snapshot, really. But you have to take all the data. You can't have like, you can't even partially like do it, since if that data changes at all or grows or I don't know, anything, it just, you can't get it. So you need like a good baseline for the like profile data. So we got profile data, text message, Bumbles. Yeah, well, thanks Bumble. Profile data. So it has to have track or relationships, track previous relationship, so profile data, like when you export it, it has to have I don't know. Like, relationships. I think relationships is a feature. This feature, it's really good data. I think just adding those additional fields, like I think this is already expanding. This is the expansion of that idea. Then we contract into figuring out like what are the easiest things to implement, and then go from there. But if we can add logging to everything, that's a must to be able to track this stuff and being able to see these trends in this data, like useful data, not just any data. It's useful data to see this. So you need to track like relationship snapshot or start, and we also need ID. Relationship ID, count, start time. End time. Then you have a partner snapshot. Partner snapshot export. You want to track how many relationships you've been in. Track each of the relationships, knowing when their start time and end time are. Would you just say the relationship is maybe just like the partner? Just use the app ID. Like we assign everyone an ID in the app, and then everyone's tied to that ID, and just being able to just track that profile specifically. That'd make it super easy to like reference the profile for the future, like now, like try to see like after that relationship, how did their path go, like, and like how did this like an original person's path go, and see like where they ended up in these relationships, and figuring out like how that they found who they're looking for, and then use that data to see like, oh yeah, if people followed this trend, like this is a trend on like really long lasting relationships. Oh, this is really a trend on the short lasting relationships. And like it's always in these bursts moments of there's so many questions that could be answered with this data. We need data, guys. Data is the key to everything. We've solved it with computers. We've made our jobs easier. Now let's use computers to make our life easier. Okay. This is good stuff. I want to record. Maybe I can pull up from Twitch. I don't know. I really want to keep this recording though. See my videos. I don't have any videos yet. All right, I'm gonna quick pause stream and see if it uploads to that. It appears that it worked. I'm downloading the thing now. And I might try publish it and then see where that goes, but it's preparing. So, all right. All right. So personalization engine, we got like this is a whole trek. So we want to be in the personalization engine. We want to also, we were working on data too. So items tracked, we want non-negotiables, like how they change over time, being before and after relationships. That was too deep, so we need to remove that. Friends. Wait. We just want information about the non-negotiables, not like what they could be used for. We just want pure information. Like what can we increment? What data can we save to this non-negotiable? Well, total non-negotiable set. I think that's just a good filter in general. So every time they add a filter, or every time they actually, it's like I just got to click download. Then did it download, or what's it doing right now? Downloads. It goes up like up there, like it's doing some download thing. The option down. Oh, there we go. I right click it and then save video as. Then videos, which one? 3124A. Yep, there it is. Okay, 2 gigs. Cool. What are we doing? We are doing some information. What information we need? We want non-negotiables. Non-negotiables. What's useful information out of non-negotiables? How many you have set? I can't think of anything super direct. You can easily tell at least like where to look based on the total numbers. Like every time someone's changed something. So if they how important is times changed? So if someone sets a non-negotiable filter, then they ended up changing it. That's a really big moment to capture. Like if they really set this non-negotiable and said, actually, I don't like that very much. That might be an easy one, but I also think that it's not a high priority. Times the do you have to track the ID of the I think you have to track the event of when they set the card or set their value. If they set it and then you go, all right, now I know they at least set it, but I can never track which ones that they changed. Never. I mean, they can't set that many non-negotiables, right? It shouldn't be like an event that like would take up a lot of data to like store that, because you can just go, hey, they ID like change 1 on their profile, they did this. Change 2 on their profile, they did this. Change 3 on their profile, they did this. It's just a change log. But then, oh, we got a change log, but still with an ID. Oh no, you have to link the link them. You have to link the question ID with the change. Actually, at that point, you don't even need a question ID. You just use that ID and then use that to compare what's actually on relevant to their profile. So if it's like question ID is like, yeah, so they answer a question about like they're pro-life or pro-choice. They set pro-choice. It's like, okay, they initially set it and they set it as a non-negotiable for the part, like they set their partner's preference to be a non, like what answers you'll accept. Yeah, there's only two buttons for that if it's partners. Do you need the three buttons? I didn't establish that. Yeah, yes or no, or don't care, or just the selection of the options. All right. All right. Hmm. Here we go. So we have the reference non-negotiable tracking the change based on the questions ID. Tracking the change based on the questions ID, like keeping that log of every time there's a change to their profile, you write down, hey, they changed, they added this non-negotiable. When they add this non-negotiable, then we want to increase the data of they made one, they added to their non-negotiables count. What do we want? Count. Every time user makes um, we want to um, um, count, and then I was thinking for the instance of then you want to like say like total count, like you can count, but then you want to have like the total amounts that they've ever done it. So if their current count means that they have 100 in their, so they have 100 in their queue, then you want to count to that. So you add another question onto that. So now they have, or another non-negotiable, another non-negotiable has been added to their account. This is added count. But then they subtract to that count. So then they subtract to the total count. And then we know that, hey, they've done, they only have this many set, I guess, set count. How many set, right? Then we go into, all right, now I want their total count. This means that they have a total of, or total count, or total, are we counting their, currently has set, and then we have the total count where amounts of times they've ever changed. And we know based on that that we can say, hey, we can see you had 100, you subtracted 1, Now you have 99 changed equals 1. Currently have 99, but then you change 1. So, oh, then you change again equals 2, but never tracks the what changed. Right? So, I mean, going between, I want to use the information to be able to track when you have the hoopla is over here. I'm losing it right now. Ah, math. This is equations. I'm trying to formulate relationships. All right. This is the math part of it. We got to do the math. So, tracking change. So, you want the total counts to know. What do I want to know? I want to know total they have set. They currently have set. How times they changed a non-negotiable. We want to know changed useful for knowing changing this is the personal used for knowing widely changing I'm just gonna name it PE. Personalization engine PE. The P. Oh god. Is that marketable? Someone maybe. What non-negotiables were changed? Was changed. What non-negotiable was changed? So we want to know that. So it's useful for knowing the widely changing PE personalization engine questions. What else can that be used for? Tracking the trends in that, but is it easy to track that? I mean, right now it's what non-negotiable is changed, and that you do that through like an ID. And you want to know, give that thing a name to be able to reference that again. You want to pull that out. Like you want to keep saving that and pull that specific information out because you're not tracking right now. You're not tracking to see. You have to use that information that you have to be able to make those comparisons to know exactly what you're looking at. So when you say a non-negotiable is changed, all right. So they change the non-negotiables like 100 times, 1,000 times, and they set it like and set like new ones like less of that time. They like to. We want like for the, I guess for the like searches. Um, oh, these are different trends. These are like combining the data now. When you're in the searches, you want to see. My brain fried. Okay, let's move on to something else. I'm done with it. Let's go back to non-negotiable. Let's start from the beginning. Let's go back to the old classics. What am I doing here? So interaction points. So I want to have each question about them has an option to make it non-negotiable for the other person to have. All right, so we're doing the questions here. How will users set their non-negotiables? They do it through the profilization engine. Profilization engine. Will users? Oh yeah, personalization engine, and then the profile settings. The profile settings allows them to remove it from their lists over and over again. They can remove it as many as they want, or like go back to the. Wait, we also want non-negotiable. We want to see new action points. Then we want ability to undo. It's a related feature to this. Then when you tap on it, you go to the thing itself, and then you can on that page you can manipulate it as well. Yeah. Should we? I don't know. Only removed from that list, and like it's a confirmation thing. It's when you're there, you have more context of the thing, so you should be able to edit it while you're on the profile. But it should be like locked first, maybe. Uh, I guess yeah. I mean, this is like a PE question. Revisit question later. This is a question later, like non-negotiable or searching. In that make sure they know not to just. Okay, this is like a really secure document that says, "Hey, you made this change. You sure? I mean, made it. I mean, you're here for a reason, right? Because you actually went to view your settings, and you went to go edit. Then you actually clicked this to make this change. Now you're backing out. Like, are you sure? Like, just make sure we didn't save anything. Like, are you sure you wanted to do that? Are you sure you just want to back out now? It's like this is an important change to be able to like edit your settings, and like because this is an important change because this information is being tracked. Because I want to track like how many times you've changed this. I don't want people like I want to use this as like an enforcement to say like this is like serious stuff. Like answer the question honestly, like about yourself. There's really no wrong answers. Just as long as it's true to yourself, it's easy thing to do. Like not an easy thing to do, but it's something that's required to be honest with yourself on like a lot of these things. Like how do these things affect you, and like what's important to you. And I wanted like people to know, like when people put these things out there, that like, yeah, they actually knew exactly that. Or like if they didn't say it, or I don't know, it's just really nice for to know like someone's not being someone that you they actually aren't. Like if these things are important to you, let that be locked in. If you examine it enough to say like he changed this like 7 times, and like this is like a top thing that people use to like filter on, and like this is important to me. Now you're saying it's important to you, but like what where'd you what would it change to? Like why did it keep changing so often? This isn't a thing that usually bounces back and forth like this. What's your story, man? Or like I don't know, like if that's a big thing, just like bring it up, and then they can tell you their side. Like it does, like even like having a bunch, it's like you honestly don't know. So like tell the other person that like this is how my kind of journey went through. It's kind of discovering like, yeah, this is a thing that I actually like enjoy now. It was hard for me at first, but I got to it. That sounds like a believable story. Like give people the chance to like explain themselves too. I don't know. It's just nice to bring up. Like it's a conversation starter too. It's something that's important to you. Like you want to talk about things that are important to you. And I think this is an important one for a lot of people. And I want to make sure this process is completely locked down. It's it has to be just this page that lets people know that these like setting it the once, like I want even on the P question, like saving. First time saving, make. Then a data. I don't know, like the data thing is going to be weird. Like this app is all about the data, and I want to make sure that people know how this data is being used and why it's important. Because the data, I know it's kind of sucks like laying your cards all out there and like worrying about like who's gonna like see this data, who's gonna use this data against you. Because it's gonna be so open that it's not gonna be hard for people to log in, like create an account and then log in to see all this data or see all the people around them that meet their filters, right? So if you just like keep setting it to like something that you're not, then Or just using it as like a one-time thing, like search engine thing that like people just hop on just to like browse at people, like spy on people, like see other people's personality and not intend to like use the app for what they're looking for, what they've set they're looking for. Like, are they looking for just browsing on the app just to like see people, like all their like I don't know all their preferences, like who they are, like they're laying it out like this is who I am. Oh, you can search up all the polyamorous people. You can search up all the trans people. You can search up all the whatever you set your preference to. Like if they're looking for you, then that's the preference. But how do we like filter out these people and get them out of here? And I have a couple ideas. I have a couple ideas, but that involves data. Like being able to see this data is tracking trends. Like, that's how AI does it. Just like see the trends of like on accounts. Like, hey, this account is acting suspiciously. It never signs in like at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. Why is it signing in? Then it's like you raise the flag because in the past, it's an you sort through abnormalities, and the abnormality is this tracking of this behavior of using the app improperly and trying to track what behaviors like through the data are unique to that. So being able to create this like privacy thing would be probably fantastic. But it's really hard to do too. Like it can't be like a number one thing. I'm just describing all the features again. But this is just my tangent of like all these different features we could be having. And data privacy is important. It's so important. It's just a lot of work too. Not maybe not. I don't know. I definitely want data privacy so like if there's like a variable on the account that's I think this is just gonna be like a work like on the roadmap for sure. Like this is a needed thing for dating app or for like apps that give information like this much. This much information needs to have privacy or protection behind it. I really want to do it at the very beginning, but I don't know if I'm capable of doing that. If this is a feature we can add easily, then please do. But also, I want to make it so that you're not just like abusing this feature as well to toggle it on and off. So track data was toggled. So every time this data privacy thing is set, people have to decide like if people like keep enabling it on and off, like what happens if they I want to grab the case of ability to re-enable. When they enable things, will it start them off at like 1? Will it start them off at like because what if they change the thing like 10 times, right? Perfect. Then they re-enable it. So it's like, if they set the data privacy, can we even track that anymore? I don't think we can track that anymore. I don't think that can be like I think that has to like be a separate coded thing of all the information that's getting tracked. And like, as long as their variable matches this, then we can't track it. Because these are going to be like the global variables. No, they're not global variables. They're just information about all the things about them that they've done. So it's like tracking. If they disabled, say, non-negotiables or like disabled the how many times they've there needs to be like a matrix of I use this data plus this data and this data to create this data. Then you say I don't want people like do you do subcategories of I don't want people to see Because I think the things that are most relevant are going to be the things that are like shown on their profile, right? The things that are displayed for other people, but do you... we also give them the option to export the data they have on themselves. So, but can we... I think we have to... At, I think the privacy laws are the due diligence of like, you have to show them like what you're trying to track, but like let them know that you're tracking it and not showing it to them, and they have the option to download that themselves later. So what are they tracking, and then using that information to help know what's being tracked on them, and then we just have to show everyone the data that we're using, but not their data specifically. This is a big project. Data privacy in general is just, I think we worry about that later. No, we just, at the base level, like if they re-enable it, so this needs to get figured out. They re-enable their account. They change their shit 17,000 times. As an extreme example. So they said no. So are we tracking that data? Yes. Yes, we track it. So we'll... It's not data privacy, it's data hiding. Privacy is something completely different than this, I think. This is more like the ability to toggle things on and off for your profile. If someone doesn't see it, then ability to re-enable, uh, then what, like, can I move? Can you sub thing? Oh, you have to do this, don't you? All right. Data hiding. So we have all this data stuff. We got this data, and this data. Data export exports all data points we have on user profile. I don't know, whatever user profile format we were saving in. I want it to be like a dynamic thing where it has a bunch of values to a person, and then they edit some certain fields on it. It's like, hey, this one is actually your profile. Hey, this one's your non-negotiables. Other blocks of data. It's like, this is all the information we have. We logged you at these areas. We see your... We don't track the locations for sure. That's a bad thing to even have. I think that the app needs to like verify the location. So I think the easiest way to do that would be the city, and then say like, hey, are you within 100 miles of the city or 50 miles of the city? Then you're good. That's your center point. I guess. I don't, it might be bad. Might be good for a lot of people. Like, I don't want to give out exact locations. I think location is going to be a huge thing that you have to protect, so you don't see it like everyone like, oh, we got she's lives in this area, so I'm gonna hang out by different things related to her profile and then see if they come. It's like, holy crap, that is a stalker's dream right there. You don't want that shit. So just having like the city is like a really nice wide range. Plus, I don't want anyone like easily search. I don't want people to use it as like a Facebook. well, maybe a phase, like maybe it can evolve to that. Like I'm my main focus is on dating, but I really believe this could be just evolve into like a friend app, and then like you find people that do this exact same thing as you, but you want to have like a friend do them. So if, like you're planning on going for like a road trip or something, you want to have like hang out with someone with the same vibe and like hang do the whole thing like with another person. You can find the same person that will be able to like do that with you. Like I want it to be like so fast that it's like why didn't we have this before? But I also want it to be safe. It needs to be safe. Safety is also one of my big pillars I have, so we'll get to that. But I'm working on the core functionality of the app. It won't work without everything else, but I'm working on like the basics of how the app works. These are the basics of this data export basic. I mean, we have to have it, but is it required right away? I don't know. I mean, do it abides by some laws, but I don't. I have no idea like what companies have to do it versus like if I go to Boo right now and I find my settings, am I gonna find an option to export my data? We got my profile, awesome. We got edit, settings probably, privacy, profile visibility, hide profile whose hide people whose profiles and activity you don't want to see or be seen on Boo. Hide phone and email contacts. I'm sorry, it has to be a feature. Like not right away. I don't. It's definitely important, but there's so many different things important that are important. And also within 10 miles, maybe. Then hide profiles with keywords. I mean, that has to be part of the non-negotiable. Maybe it's just part of the non-negotiable. Like uh profile settings, and then he has, I don't know. Is it under safety? It's under non-negotiables for sure. Do you have an option to change that? Or do you have a different setting for hiding people? Maybe it's a different like personality personalization engine question? No, that this is more like a setting. We have the personalization engine and then we have like settings. Maybe a setting of that, I think. Yeah. This is a question, then we have the what runs the data collection engine. God. App development. You need to figure out how shit's laid out, dude. This is how it's laid out. Um, God, what was I working on? Personalization engine. I wanted to see the definition. There we go. The name reflects the system's focus on tailoring the user experience to individual per, per references and characteristics. Da, da, da. I'm not getting a strong feeling from this, but it definitely makes sense. References and characteristics. Oh yes. Uh, what? How do you do that? What kind of? It's a PE. I mean, I want something kind of more marketable. Maybe just. Is it a personalization engine? Is it a? Insights generator. I don't like that name either. Identity matcher. I'm not. We don't have anything to match to. Preference profiler. I don't like the word profiling. The PP. It's always P pig. Come to the pig. VAS Baz. IM. That sounds like messaging. The PP, the PDE, the CP, the LA. The what, the who. Eh, the what and the who. Those are the 2 pages. That's it. I've determined it. The what and the who. The what, you get to describe what you're looking for. The who is trying to find who you're looking for. So what and who. The what and the who. I want this to be a what. This can be a what. This can be a what. This is a what are you looking? What are you looking for? You want question who and what. This is who and what. What are you looking for? And then who. No. Who is the like profile stuff. Yeah. The what is a PE question. Marking if it's important, like that's already make a subpage of that. Then personalization engine is the top of that. You know. I want more depth. Let me be Johnny Depth. The what we want a non-negotiable is like, what are you looking for? And then you kind of set what you're looking for. This is the hard what. Hard what. And this is informative. This is it's not a hard what. Like I think importance is good. Like there's 3 different levels of importance. The non-negotiable, the important, and then the open to. Basically, it's like can I draw? Oh no. There has to be. It's OneNote. Like hold shift? No. Hold control? No. Draw. And we want like this. Let me say thank you. Maybe this. Important. So it's like the scale. Right? You got a scale of a lot of choice. You got the no, open, yes. Then everyone is like, then is this a non-negotiable or is it a important scale? No, it's probably like a scale. It's probably no, it's just actually like a radio. One or the other, or the What's the clear? Like it's not important, it's not non-negotiable. Then you have like you need to choose one or the other, but then you have clear. I don't want a checkbox then. I want a radio button. I want to have a clear distinction of the three choices. Then from here, you get to say, hey, it's like, I'm a no, and then you have like the case of like, no, negotiable, it's a non-negotiable. I don't like this example. It's basically like the information we're getting from this. So this is the first level of importance. What this important will do is mark, like highlight this on the account. Match with people. Importance isn't like a non-negotiable. If you love to ice skate and this person doesn't think that like they never gone ice skating, then I think that's still an ability to create a connection. So being able to find that and to seeing like, hey, does this other person actually want it? Like, is this other person open to doing these important things? If it's important to you and then they mark no, you kind of want to know about it in order to like dig into that further. But just I think that's just like easy method. Just say, hey, mark this as like highlight this for me. If it pops up, just this is I want to see things about this. It's not like a hard thing. Like don't filter them out or anything. It's just highlight it on the account and let me determine that. But then if you just say like it's like you like it, I mean you prefer it, but it's not like super important to you that you like it, or like it's not a huge thing that you know about it. So, but you do prefer it. I mean, you already like the thing. It's just not your main thing. So, hey, perfect. Then you got the. I want to say that. So, highlight this on the account. Highlight this. Important. Personalization engine data. Important. Personalization engine data. Then the flag system. Oh man, flags. So it goes. We want to see the matched. We want to see the important matched. And we want to see like open twos. And we want to see the flat. Wait, we want to see the disagree. We want to see the strongly disagree. And strongly disagree. Then the non-negotiables, if they already set that, that'd be it. So we want to first see like, all right, how many things did you match on? No, we want to see important. Yeah, importance match. So that means it's important, and then that'd be indicated by like a star. That's all the important stuff. Um, It's like, we need a cool. Flags. So when viewing their profile, they'd see an important matched, and like a star. Like, yeah, you actually match like strongly on these things. Like you have like 3 or 7 things that like it's you strongly match on. Perfect. Then you have the important not match. So it's like, hey, these things are important. We do it based on values, like the type. I think uh, importance matched. So each one has like all this importance information. So importance matched, importance not matched. Then you have like the general area. And you have just had the, hey, you match on this, this, this. All these different categories you matched on. Like you're actually strongly doing well in like the lifestyle area, but you're kind of going down on like the hobby, like shared hobbies. But if you want to make it up through the lifestyle, then you're perfect. Hey, you actually like on that 1 star, it's like actually like related to your dream. Like you don't find many people that actually like want to support your dream. And then they're like doing the, like they're already all in on that dream. So hell yeah. I think it's all about the data and like how you want to read it. How do you want to read this data to find who you want or you're looking for? And I want to give people that option of like, there's so many different ways we can search. That is it based on their lifestyle? Is it based on their hobbies? What key factors are we looking for that we have to agree on in order to create these connections? Is it nice enough to even like have that information, be able to like build off of that and like create that connection? No questions. So many questions. So flag system, I mean, there's so many different ones we could do. Like all data points, there's per data, there's the per data type, there's uh the question categories. I guess that's like the same thing, like P question, like how importance there, then like even do like a sub question. P question style, hobbies. Flag blocks. So we have these different flag blocks. We want ability to add cool. Then we have flags on the account, and then we have a reason for the importance. So we like say like these different things of yes or no, or like I'm just open to it. Like I don't. At that point, you don't have you can't have the um. So we have the first option of yeah, I think we need to look at the PE question. First time saving. Then we have first time filling out workflow. We have them read prompt, read question, detail per P question, general. Keyword. So for the keyword workflow, they read keyword. It description slash picture. So if you say golf, do you mean just golf in general, watching golf, playing golf? Like when you say golf, what do you mean? Or is it just maybe show re-keyword data cat. So it could be like sport golf or TV golf or hobby golf. Or do you have a thing per keyword? So if you say like makeup, do you enjoy watching makeup? Do you enjoy putting on makeup? Do you enjoy buying makeup? Do you know what do you enjoy most about makeup? Oh no. Oh no, I ran into a pit. This is good. This is actually a key problem to solve. Like, this is the core to the engine. Personalization engine. So when you have the P question, how do you go through this process to go say, hey, I like this. I know I like that. I think that's already a given. So because we have the categories of PE questions, it's not keywords, just like the reference. This is the preference side of it. And we want to say this preference came from the header, primary, secondary item. Emails. Are people sending email at 8 p.m.? Oh yeah. He's traveling, he's probably just catching up on things. Anyway, header, primary category, secondary category, and item. So we want to have like the different headers that say what the topics about your life story. This is the category. So this is like golf or golf, music. Wait, no, this was the header category would not be golf. It'd be who you identify with, or who do you identify as or with. Question like primary things regarding a certain category of whatever. Like the highest level you can go with this. So it's like if you want to answer questions about what you actually look like, this would be where the no, that wouldn't be where it goes. This would be the PE question is question preference. The P personalization question, like itself, it could be also the like multi-select or it's not really a personalization engine if you just kind of ask questions about like physical characteristics about you as well, right? I mean that the kind of gulp a little bit. Sure, it's still there, but this is the structuring of the data, and this is a key factor in determining how you want to actually view the data. I watched Etho's episode lately, and he organized every fucking block in Minecraft. What a guy. Like, he optimized it so fucking well into all the whatever boxes. He had a like box for like all the decorations. He pretty much created creative mode in survival Minecraft. He's creating that right now. Huge ass engine to dump items into and refill like all items in the game based on like your ender chest. And he's just like, I'll take my entire stock with me, or I'll take all the blocks with me. And that's it. I'm taking everything. I'll take everything. One of everything, please. Oh, what a guy. Like, he's the god amongst the redstones. Almost. Like his style of redstone is just so practical. It's like, hey, I know like you can build all these like super optimum farms, but this is also the fun way, and also this is a completely unique idea. Like, why aren't people doing this idea like in survival? Like this is like a really good feature to have. Like, hey, I want to enchant so much more easily, and going through all my chests to look at all these books and like deciding like look like categorizing all these different books into like being good or bad, or like having to have them reworked, or it's a whole system. And sometimes you just want to go like, hey, my pick broke, so I'm just going to add mending and efficiency 5 and efficiency 5 and all the, and fortune 3, and like you just go through the process of getting that done and saying, hey, look, it's done. I just picked out exactly what I wanted because I made this huge ass machine to make my life easier. That's what I want to do. Like, I'm following inspiration from Etho. He knows how to he knows how to live it. Oh, what a guy. The Nexus. That huge ass project where he created he indexed everything so he could retrieve it one by like individually, one by one, and in certain amounts. It made it compact enough to like replicate, and made it so that all the redstone reach exactly where you wanted it in the level. Like dialing everything down to the bit level to be able to have the system encode that, send it off to the specific machine, redstone machine, to fire in rapid motion into like this water stream transport system that went all the way back to him in this chest, and to create a system like have it all like cooperate to where you can drop items off too. Like it'll just auto sort itself. And this have like even think like he programmed a whole computer within Minecraft to do all that stuff, like specifically for this system. Yeah. And who can figure it? Mastermind. Just all these cool redstone projects. And on top of that, like he improved his like building skills so much over the years too. That's like, holy crap, that looks super good and like unique, and I love it. Starting the different projects and like finding things interesting. That's amazing. Every Etho episode you're gonna see is amazing. That's the quality he stands to. Ah, and I want to program it too. I don't know how to program, but I know programming concepts. So like having like all this data and like showing exactly how this system would work, I think is a hugest leap because this puts a lot of pressure off the app developer in terms of like, oh, this is all the features I have to work through. Like, oh, a checklist of everything that the thing needs. Oh, perfect. I have a guide to on how to build this. I don't have to think about how the users are going to interact with this thing or how like a good baseline to start like how this user should interact because a lot of things are trial and error. Like a lot of things might not work at first or like a lot of things just don't make sense. And then you have to like rework the idea to make it make sense. Like when you're going through like all these like different processes and figuring out how we can replicate this on a larger scale, like every PE question card, preference card is going to be the exact same. We want to create this template so we can replicate it so many times and make it so easy to save and create more and modify that we want to be as efficient as possible because we're also collecting a shit ton of information. We don't want to save an entire like I don't know like a whole block of text just to save like like a value of like yes I like it, no I don't like it, and then try to reference then go ahead and like reference that information specifically so we can say hey this value needs to like interact with this element in this way. Hey, this when you say it's important, you should be able to see all the things you marked important somewhere and how to view that in a cohesible like manner. I actually just thought of do I have in Twitch a header dating app feature consolidation? Okay, I mean that's fair. Consolidating it down to its core. What we need, how it works, consolidation, programming. I'd call it like a programming thing, but being able to think on that level is really helpful. Okay, so preference, so workflow, they show data. You want the show data somewhere. I mean data on this, so it's like in the item. You want the header category. They want to know how this. I guess like speaking like outside of this PE question, like personalization engine itself. Then we want to have like categories of um, things just about them. So the categories would be lifestyle, answer things about their lifestyle, answer things about identity, um, physical characteristics. And we want hobbies, a future, uh, and looking for. I'm just thinking about when there's a lot of like vital like miscellaneous like core things, religion. Where would that go? You don't identify with a religion. You identify with like gender and your sexual preference, identity. Looking for is this is the future, like future slash looking for. This would be things like kids, childs, kids. That's why I can't spell kids. I was doing kids and child. Kids. That's a big one. You want uh, I want vices in here somewhere too, like future. I guess it's a lifestyle. Who's looking for someone who wants kids? Like, what's their future plans? Do they want kids in the future? This is the future plans. Uh, move out of state. Move. Travel. Like, what are your big plans? Like, traveling's a big thing. Like, you want to travel more. You want like this is your dreams. Dreams. Like, follow your dreams. What are you looking for someone to support you in your dreams? This is when you have a life partner like this, like what are you looking for the future? We don't want it's everything is looking for. We want more tailored looking for hook up, one night stand, um, looking for sex specifically. Like this needs to be a specific thing. Like if you're looking for sex, just say you're looking for sex. If you want to have sex, like you're not a slut, you're not a whore, you're not a player, you're not anything. You're just looking for sex. Let people be horny. Let people be horny. It's fine. Let them fuck. If that's what they're looking for, let them fuck. There's no good app for that. There's none. I mean, Grindr's probably the best for it. Probably, and like guys know what we're looking for. We're like, yep, we want sex. We're on here for sex. That's sex. If I wanted a real relationship, I know where I'm going, but this is what I'm looking for. So I don't know how Grinder works, but I imagine that's how like that's my vision of it. That's what I've kind of gotten the sense of. Like this is if you want sex, this is where you do it. Tinder is somewhat if like as long as you're hot, but if people are still trying to use it for dating and that doesn't those two things do not mix well. And then we get this culture. Then we get the hookup culture. It's like no one can find what they're looking for. Let them find what they're looking for. Let them do it. So we want a 1 month relationship, 3 month, short term. Actually, I had a ChatGPT thing that asked about the different levels of like all the different descriptions of yeah. There we go. Someone posted on Reddit about what each uh, preference meant. And he wrote this whole thing, and then I had ChatGPT condense it down. So then kind of more so define it. Like I had to go through different scenarios, like some examples of what a relationship of that caliber would look like. Now we're down here. This choice conceals the dating intentions field. It also needs experimentation, or what was it called? Experimenting, figuring out my dating goals. Individuals who are open to forming connections without predefined intentions. It's allowed to for exploration and adaptability in dating, where the relationship's future may evolve over time, naturally over time. So I guess oh, we also want to track it. Another nice one would be about you, or like history. Maybe history? History. Um and that'd be a nice one to track. Just kind of how many relationships have you been in, and like experience? How many relationships have you been in? It's a nice kind of baseline to see like where the dating trends are and like how people progress over time. Or like going on the app and going like, hey, I want to go into like a super awesome relationship, and then that person hasn't gone like had any like relationship experience, so you know that you kind of have to help guide that process. Like like they don't know very much, and that's kind of a nice thing to like have on hand. Like it it allows people to have certain expectations. Right now, our expectations are so high nowadays because the quality of life we have now is so high. We expect more. We keep continuously striving for a more comfortable life, but we're living like kings and queens right now. Like they never, like kings and queens never had television. They didn't have a comfy couch, or most people didn't own pets except for like work. But now we just dote on them because they're so lovable. Like we have the option to, because we want to give our pets a better life too. So our expectations are super high when we go into these relationships. Like I want him to make me laugh all the time. I want him to be able to do these things or this thing. It's like, what are you expecting from people that have no experience? Like they could be their physical traits don't determine who they are. It's about who they are that determines who they are. And like you can determine their actions and find out if you think that they're the person for you based on like your feeling for people. Everything's about feeling. How do you feel about this person? And then being able to gauge, like you have to trust your gut and all that bajings. So why don't we allow people to do that? Just give people the information that they need to know. Is this helpful to know? Do you want to answer this? I want to give people always the option to like not answer things. If they don't think it's relevant and then they don't want to answer it, they don't have to. People are looking for specific things, and you just filtered out by not answering. You've already filtered out all the people that I forgot about hidden. So if someone doesn't answer something and you mark it as important, do you want to hide them, or you show them missing? Not wait, no, you show them like say that they're missing. So flags. Yeah, so you also show the missing ones that are important to you. And you don't like you could still like search based on how many important stars matched in like this top level filter. And like all the non-negotiable filters are gone. So that leaves that list. Now you have the importance filter where it's like I like these things, but they're not 100% necessary. Just kind of like seeing where we match, like seeing people that match us the most, like people who get us the most, or like we agree on most things together the most. So being able to see like this information and being able to filter by it is, wow. Then we go into the, yeah. So why did I get on here? Because our importance, and then we said how the importance will hide or not. Then we went to missing, so we wanted to actually know the missing stuff too. Just make sure we got everything, and like how many things are we missing on, and like making that judgment of like, all right, so there's some good ones in here. They can then you can use like the missing ones to inquire to the other person about it. Yeah, that's like a conversation starter already. Perfect. I mean, that's more information you can go on. Every piece of information we can get, we love. We love to process and like make our own connections based on this information. It's all the information we need. We need a lot of information to make these judgments. For these judgment calls for our like gut feeling. Like there's so many different people out there that there's so many different opinions to have. We have so much choice. We have the means of travel. We have the means of community. We have the means of not participating in the community. We have means of like all the different communities we can join. There's so many different things we can be doing and interacting with that it's hard to choose and hard to like have someone that knows why you do these things. Like someone that understands you. Like you know it. It's like you both can bond over the same things. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. So we want the experience. So we want to also ask them experience and looking for. I mean, are they like what kind of not looking for? I guess this would be a like a no. This is an important one. Like this is one actually like I think this looking for is like even like on a higher level. But this is going to be a subcategory for now. But then it's going to evolve into once we have to focus on the dating relationship partner connections. So people connect over sex. People connect over a. Um, I think the partner is the short term. Then we want long term. We have long term. Can you have a short or hookup open to long relation? I think that those two are too separate. All right, well, we're back again. I kicked the power cable, so I was offline for probably 2 hours. But we're back, and we are figuring things out. So we were like the looking for thing is going to be a huge. It's huge. It's astronomically big. Like all the possibilities of all these different types of relationships, you can't quantify it really in these different sections. Looking up how to publish my like audio recordings. I'm trying to figure out between like a podcast or just kind of like having the audio out there, or the audio stuff has really good ideas to it, but it never makes any progress. So I want to be able to extract that and be able to actually use that as usable data. Since when I'm talking, it's like everything seems to make sense when I'm talking about it. Everything seems to make sense, and I keep coming up with these good ideas, but never being able to reference them back and connect them and integrate them. And sometimes they get forgotten, so it needs to be written down. I remember some of them, but yeah. Also the feelings behind it, like why I'm doing this, and it's a big thing. I want to make it easy for everyone, help everyone out. So, how do we define what people are looking for? Well, for sex, they in like a partnership or relationship, you're looking for like the general dating apps are really looking for that partner, or maybe like people are just looking for someone that like is within their scope and looking for the same thing. So are you looking for just sex? Are you looking for just sex? Are you looking for like a I don't know, one night stand and hookup are the same, or maybe like one night like really one night stand, but uh in between then you have like that short term, yeah, then open benefits to be term open to long term, then a long term relationship. Now, would you consider that like what are the types of long term relationships? Like 1+ year, and life partner? You go like you range from how long you want to stay with this person. In the kind of context of the relationship, kind of like you can have short term, like it. I guess looking for is kind of defined by the length of the relationship you're looking for, the things you want to do within that relationship, and how long you want to do those things for. That's the length of like how the duration of the relationship is dependent on the connection. You can't just specify the connection going in. You can't just say, I'm going into this relationship expecting a long-term relationship. Like, how do you know that when you even like walking into a relationship? Sure, the aim is for that. Like, isn't the do people want to just cut connections off at that point? Because you're not really looking for that short-term relationship. Are you? Are people actually looking for short-term relationships? Like legit? What what do people imagine is a short-term relationship? Let's go back to this chart thing. ChatGPT, what you got for me? We have to go back to the dating. No, not dating components. We want the dating app vision. Nope. We want the comparison between the different types of dating. Hobby categories. I should tell ChatGPT to look for the thing I'm looking for. List of hobbies, hobby categories. Sorry, I would show you, but like this is intertwined with my work account, so I don't really want to say everything. Or want to see all the searches I've been doing. Where is it? What? It's supposed to be the comparison between all the different levels from that Reddit user. Yeah, there it is. All right, so we got. Prefer not to say. This is like a experimentation, or prefer not to say means user prefers to not disclose their intentions openly. Yeah, at that point, you can just simply not say what you're looking for, and you find the same thing. It's like a not filter. Prefer not to say, then it's you don't have to say you don't have to say. You don't have to say that you prefer not to say. You can just not say, and then that's good enough. If you don't have it filled in, you don't have it filled in. No one's searching. If no one's if people are searching for like anything, then you are part of it. You are part of the any. But we really, really prefer you to specify who you're looking for. Like, legit. If you're looking for something specific, we want to know. We want to know who you're looking for. Like, what this is the whole context of the relationship you're looking for. It's okay to not know, like, going into it. It's like, you're kind of in that exploratory phase of, hey, I'm just checking out dating, see what's out there, see what's going on. I'm up for anything. Like, show me a good time. Or I kind of want to try some things, like see like where I land in this relationship or like dating journey. Like where I'm figuring things out. Like maybe I want a long-term relationship, maybe I'm just looking for short-term relationships. Maybe I'm just figuring out what's what. What is this world that we live in of dating? Like how can I connect with another person? It's like your self-discovery of it's of yourself and what you tolerate and like what you like and what you dislike, and it's a whole journey with like starting at scratch. If you don't have a dating experience, then you really can't let people know what you're looking for yet because you don't know yourself. Like people may be looking for short-term relationships, but you don't know. You have to know yourself. It's like once they figure it out, like you'll know when you figure it out. And then you can evolve into like, hey, I actually want a short-term relationship. I'm looking for something short-term. Like maybe this is still in the exploratory phase. Maybe it's friends with benefits. Maybe it's just wanting to create like a short-term connection with someone. Then like pretty much like almost all relationships are like short-term, open to long. Like you're up for trying to get to a long relationship. I think this is a really good choice. I'm not sure if giving people the option of like the different months for short term would help. But then we do have these like short term open to long, which is consider more extended commitment if the relationship deepens. Like I think that's kind of the natural evolution of a short-term relationship. Of hey, things are starting to feel like they're gonna go to maybe a long relationship, but no harm if it goes to the short-term relationship and stops. But if you kind of dilly dally past like a certain point, like hey, I'm open to long. You if you're open to long too, I'm happy, or like at least let's have the conversation because I'm actually looking for the long part now. And if you don't want to progress this relationship past the short term relationship, then that's a decision that you have to like make on your own to like, is this compatible at this point? How do you capitalize on that? I think like this short term thing is like really open to some heartbreak without knowing someone else's intentions. Then you got long term relationship open to short. Like I think you have to include the short term relationship. You can't have a long term relationship without a short or with a short term without a shorter relationship first. Not short term relationship, but like the beginning phases of a relationship, letting that relationship develop. Let each other let the two of you get to know each other. See if you're then you find out that compatibility. I'm trying to skip past all of that, or like at least get a better guide as to who would I'd be compatible with. It's like you get into all these like short-term relationships and never find anyone compatible for you. That's there's so many different lives to live, so and different compatibilities that like different things in people's lives that determine their compatibility. Let people decide what's compatible for them. Let's like give people the option for this. But right now we're just it's long term, open to short. Uh, Seeking serious long term partner. To help encourage this, I wanted to have that distinction between this hookup like sex one short term like purely sex thing. I think people would really appreciate like a sex only thing. Like to know like this is the place you can go for like sex only. If you're looking for just sex and fucking fuck, dude. I don't care. As long as you both like each other and want like know the conditions behind like you're meeting up, like if you're up for it, go for it. If you're it's only a hookup, like you can talk about the partner if they're open to something else, but like evolving into like these are evolutions. Like you meet someone for the one night and then you're expecting just one night. Hookups, I don't know, they're kind of the same. Maybe hookup where you hook up every once in a while, then you could evolve into like a friendship or friends with benefits where you actually hang out and fuck. So then like if you want it to evolve, you can go to like the short term relationship or even like upgrade to like the longer term relationship depending on how long this friends with benefits lasts. The benefits can evolve into long term benefits or a life partner, which is like marriage, and you don't have to be married to be a partner. So just like stick it through it till the end of time. Like you're that kind of partner. Uh, then below that is just like figuring out my dating goals. So looking forward needs some work. It needs some work, but it's providing these different like sections would be good. I want to like really like nail down like how this looking for thing works, and also the uh what was it, the ranked dating. Uh nah. I wanted to also like put these people in or categorize the different areas to be able to say, hey, if you go into a long term, it's like you have this timeout where you can stay in long term, but you can't keep flopping between like one night stands and long term, and then partnerships and long term. I mean, what people? I guess not. I think it should be unrestricted and just kind of let people do what they need to do. And if this becomes a problem, then we can implement lockdown features. I will really want this to be open, like non-restrictive as possible, and see how people end up using the tool to find what they're looking for. But the sex part really should be a thing. Like, there's a lot of differences between looking for sex and looking for a relationship. Sex is like can be purely physical. It's purely an activity. It's purely this activity that's required between two people. It's you can't get it anywhere else. You just can't. You have all the sex toys. You have like all the porn and OnlyFans and sexual gratification and like sexual acknowledgement, and there's a lot that where people can get all the sex from. Like women can get they don't need a partner to like get that sexual status set of or the compliments or the approval or like just knowing that they're beautiful, right? Like a lot of women are beautiful, and that there's a lot of OnlyFans and there's a lot of beautiful pictures on the internet. It's like it's so filled with so many beautiful women that it's so hard to like have this distinction of like anyone can like find this a woman on the internet and just like be their fan, only fan, but multi fans. And as a woman, it's like it's probably super nice to get all that attention. Like someone like a lot of people like you for something you have, something you are. But when you go into like these deeper relationships, it's not just on the surface level. We have so many tools to make us look more beautiful. We have so many different like options in terms of have you seen clothing stores? Like 80% of the clothing department store is women's clothes. It's nuts. Like there's all this makeup and things that you can beautify yourself. You have all these different hairstyles and hair techniques and hairstyling equipment and different things for your skin to make it shine. You get different things for your hair to make it change color. You have different to make it different textures, different shines, different everything. You can customize your like there's so many different options that you have. Then makeup is a whole nother world where you can have all these like the eyeliners and the eyelashes, and you got foundations, you got lipstick, earrings, tattoos, glasses, contacts, nails, smells. You got so many options in terms of how you present yourself that it's almost overwhelming. Like you have to find a style within that zone, or try to like follow these tutorials, or I don't know how women do it. It's a lot of decision. Like finding your style and sticking to it, or just constantly switching, or all the expenses that can rack up just by experimenting with all these different things. All the time you have to spend like trying to figure out an outfit, trying to match it to you, and then yeah, and then you get to take pictures. Then you get to post them on the internet and all that jazz. It's nuts. And it's a confusing world. Not everyone matches. Like we can't back I think my theory is back in the simpler times, we could just like we had our own community that we constantly like went out and like saw every day. It's that consistent like seeing other people and just knowing just only what's in your community, and like going like, oh yeah, we all know like Brad from the football team, or it's like yeah, he's really good at what he does. Like as long as someone's like happy doing what they do, or just like they show like these like cool qualities, like of course you're gonna be attracted to them. You want that. You want some of that part of your. You want that a part of your life. But now we have we have so much more beyond our initial surroundings. We have transportation that can take us like 20 miles in a day easily. Like we have that range of like going to these places within 30 minutes or an hour. Anytime we want. Like before we'd probably have to like hail a taxi or have someone drive us, or maybe even like catch a train if that's your new thing. Subway, I guess Subway's faster. Something that wasn't there. Just horseback, buggy, bikes, biking over to places. Having to own a horse that you had to take care of before you just got a car, and then just like it ran any time, you didn't have to take care of it besides the initial maintenance of oils and gases and parts sometimes, but it's easier than taking care of a live animal. And you don't have to, whole bunch of stuff. Like we humans made our lives so easy that dating to dating and connection has become so hard because of how disconnected we are. How do you form that connection using the same type of tools? Well, try to shape it and to make it work for you. What are you looking for? Like you got to know the parameters of like what you're actually searching for in order to find it, right? What factors matter? And I think looking for like what are you looking for is like what type of relationship are you looking for in that person? I want this to evolve beyond just like dating, but this is a primarily dating focused. Could it just open up to a bunch of different relationships right off the bat? It can. It can easily evolve, and we might just do that. Why not? No, I really need to focus on the dating part. We really need to have some kind of focus, but the evolution into like friends and maybe even jobs or just like activity based things is just, I think the next step beyond dating in relationships are friends. That's the next step. I mean, you can be looking for like, sure, like when you go out and try to make or connect with these people, you really want to. The friend start base is a really good place to start. But when you stay in that zone too long, then you just kind of like, then you get stuck there. Then it's really hard to advance beyond a friendship. It's like that's what's a lot of people do, and then it's so hard because you don't want to destroy something that's so already precious to you. Like that friendship could be enough for you, but it also could be so much more. But then if you take that risk, then you lose everything. That's a huge gamble. It's a gamble a lot of people don't want to take. It's a huge gamble. Like they're almost the most important person in their life to you. If that made sense. They're important, and you don't want to take away that important thing. It's almost like being like ripped away from like a job you love. It's like you've been doing that job for years, and like you know how much it affects your life and how much joy you get from it, but then all of a sudden like they'd let you go. Like out of no warning. It's like, oh yeah, but the company's making cuts. Goodbye. It's like, did you care about me at all, or I really was happy there. Now I have to like scramble to find like I have to mix up my life to try find something new. Like how can you rip away that feeling from someone? That the job's like someone's like primary like I don't know what you would say like primary like the thing they do the most like every day. They work towards that job. Should that job should that job should matter to someone. That's I think where a lot of people jump off because they're just doing the job for the money. But I mean, you need money to survive, and it's just it. That's just the world. But also, like being able to find something that close to you is, I think that's important as well. But that goes into somewhere else where that's not dating. It's just more of life things, and we want to focus on dating right now. And how do we do that? The personalization engine. We need to find out who this person is and what they're looking for. So it's like they got the lifestyle, identity, what they recognize themselves as. How do you fit religion into this? And you have like, I don't know. I think core, like Hinge really described it as a core thing. We got, where is it? MVP talk, collections, personal preference. We got search engine base. No. Vices, they hinge terms. Vices, vitals, and virtues. Virtues, I think, is lifestyle. Relationship type. Dating intentions. Education level is a virtue. How do you define that? Like, this is just general information. It's not. I think religious belief is a important one. You can't say yes or no to that. There's a lot of harder ones that can be matched, but I think I have to take them out because they're so dynamic. Like, and also not worth it in most cases. I think so. To get a better idea of that, I think it was this one. Yeah. So, for instance, you got music, right? You can try to like, yeah, we both like pop. Oh, we both like hip hop and rap. Oh, we both like rock. It's like the problem with music is that there's some gems in every single genre. You can't say that you're only an EDM or dubstep or K-pop or indie or metal or anything. I don't think that's a really good indicator of matching because that also indicates there's a ton of like a shit ton of different artists out there now, and there's always someone new, and always good music to be had. So limiting yourself to like these different categories or does isn't really helpful. You can both like pop, but you both like different pop artists. So that's I think music is completely out as a category to be able to like it doesn't help. But Spotify being able to match like the top listen to do things, like that matters so much more. It's so much better. So that integration with Spotify to like compare different top artists to make that connection is much better. But I also don't think that limiting it to like the top 10 is still not great. I think just yeah, actually it might be it's just a quick indicator, just kind of quick skim of the music. It's a nice feature to be able to know like what others someone else listens to, but to get a good sense of what they listen to. But then it's also not a complete like killer because there might be some like I actually use the Spotify things as like, oh, they actually listen to like this music a lot. Like, what is that music like? And try to investigate like to see what kind of person am I dealing with based on their music taste. Do I like that person's music or do I think it's kind of it's like it's not my style and then that's fine. But then you got to know that's the music that person's going to be listening to and music's a big part of people's lives. I listen to music all the time. when I'm working, when I'm just doing some general housework, when I'm cooking, when I'm at the gym. I listen to music all the time. Not all the same music, but I listen to it. It's part of me. So it'd be nice to enjoy music with another person, is pretty much what I'm saying. Also, yeah. But it's not like a complete lockout either, like I said. Yeah. Anyway, music tangent. So there has to be like separate modules that can handle music. Reading, like, I'm not sure how helpful like listing all the categories of reading is going to be, because I've seen it happen time and time again with all these dating apps. They list all these like different categories and then it doesn't really mean much, except for like a very select few that really stand out. Because if you just say like you like reading romance, like how many people can connect via reading romance? It gives you a good sense of like what the person is and what they like, but it can never nail down like that true feeling of like what do they actually enjoy about these romance movies or books. Do they enjoy the scenes? Do they enjoy the tension? Do they enjoy the sex? Do they enjoy the build up? Do they enjoy everything? Do they enjoy the concept of romance? I don't know. They just like reading romance. It doesn't help very much. There's so much more to like a romance book. Cooking books. Like, do you read cooking books or do you actually just cook and then you just use it as a recipe book? Crime, law and criminology. Like, who reads this? Business and Money. Like, that shows a little bit about you, but it's hard. It's hard to tell like who this person is based on reading. I think just reading in general is. I think reading in general is a good thing to have, but not the specific category yet. Or just like a way to specify different subcategories that you like. I don't know. Like gaming. There's lots of gaming too. There's like shooters, there's FPS, there's RTS, there's life simulators, there's race car driving, there's adventure, there's puzzles, there's so many things to gaming. How do you connect over gaming? Like the first step is just do they game in general? And then it really depends on like what a person's playing at the time too. Like I'm playing Pale World and I'm about to get into Jedi Survivor. But then you can have the multiplayer games that you can probably play together. Like, or do you like the party games, or do you like Mario Kart or Super Smash Bros. Or the fighting games, or the co-op games, or do you like PvP games? Or there's a lot of different things. And what for me, I really enjoyed having a partner that loved to game with me. That's just a number one thing on my list. I'd love to have a partner that gamed with me. Like VR, doing, I don't, everything. Shooters, like, we can compete, or just, like, I love the co-op shit. Someone that play Baldur's Gate with, someone, I don't know, just anything. It'd be so cool. This is a thing that I'd mark as a non-negotiable. Like, at least, like, one of my top important things to kind of, like, look out for. I'd like to use like this as like a filter to say, it's not technically a non-negotiable. They'd have to be at least open to it. And also, like I'm already thinking of using the system as how I want to use it to find the person I'm looking for. And my person would probably game, or at least be open to gaming, and then that's just a open door right there. And then I could probably pick out their preferences based on a few games that they like. Based on like a few like their top games. That's maybe we need a text box to like further specify, or like what platform's important, because do they just play on Xbox or PC, or do they only have the Nintendo, or do they VR game, or do they just mobile game? Because mobile gaming isn't the same as console gaming or PC gaming or VR gaming or simulators, retros or anything. It's just there's so many different categories of gaming that I'm really looking for a specific thing within that gaming too. And I want to be able to do that. That's why I came up the subcategory thing. The question? Personalization. No, yeah, the categories. These are the core. You go into this, and then under kids, then you have 2 more options. Primary, secondary, then item. No. Primary, secondary, then item. Kids, yes and no. Then you have the item under, like, what are your dreams with kids? Do you dream to have what? Number of kids. What? Adoptions on the table. IVF. Like, I had a vasectomy, so I'm still open to having a family, and just the means of having the family is important to me. And being able to specify like what kind of options you'd be open for, and like already knowing right away that, hey, you're actually pretty much open with any type of like process to be able to have a child with me, then absolutely we can talk about it more. Like these are the options of the things, and if you're open to it right away, then I'm fine with it. But if you're not, then that already rules me out because I already had the surgery. So then do you want to move? Then like where to? How long? I don't know. Travel. Where to? How often? Like answer like these more important questions around these topics. Like get a better sense of like what this person is dreaming of, like what they want their future to look like. See if that future meshes with yours. If they're not sure, then they can still like not answer it. If someone's looking for something else, then that's fine. Or you can just set down like you don't have a strong opinion of it. You just, do you want kids? And it's like the options of yes, no. It's still like yes or no. A lot of these are like yes and no things. But then you get to the details, and that like we really want to filter for yes and no's first. Like the hard yeses and no's. Then we want to get into the details of like what that means to you. Like in general, yes, you want kids. Perfect. Well, how do you want to have those kids? How many kids do you want to have? What options are open to having kids? What options are related to kids? Like, are you looking to be a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad? Would you be open to being a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad? Or would you like, I mean, it would also like evolve into like childcare. How do you want to do childcare? And under that, you have what, like, at home mom, stay at home dad, babysitter, family. Like, because you might already know that your family's going to take care of the childcare if you needed to, because you're busy with your job. Our lives are so complicated that we need to have this information to know how well our lives will mesh. If we have a child, who's going to take care of it? Do we plan on doing that? What are we open to? Can we figure this out? Do we need to figure this out? Does this matter to you at this point? Does it matter to you? We need to figure that out. What is this? see. Vergant. Natural. IVF. What's it called? Surrogate. Oh, then we have surrogate. Egg transplant. I don't know. There's so many different options we have. There's so many options. I want to be able to condense down, like, give people the option to choose. And how do we give people option to choose? Well, give them an informed choice. Give them the information to choose. Let them filter out for what they want to choose. The only downside of the system is the people that don't use it right. Our greatest and worst enemy are other people. But no one should be enemy. Also, there's precautions. Anyway, personalization engine. This is really important. We have the core lifestyles, which is vices. Would vices be or would this? I think vices would be a category on their own. Then we have like drinking, smoking. We want smoking. We want. I don't know. Would vaping go under smoking? What drinking? What would be important under drinking? Types of drink, where to drink, social. Wait. Do you say for vices? Is vices something separate? Like, what's the most important thing about a vice? Is that it's controlled, right? Like, how often do you do this? Or it's not even that. Can it be that? What are people looking for in vices? Right now we have the no or not answered, no, sometimes, and yes. Wait, sometime or socially, sometimes, and yes. I guess the frequency is the top thing, right? So we want smoking, drinking, marijuana. Gambling. You put that out there. Identity is a choice, I guess. Physical characteristics. It's more like a build your person, I guess. Like, because that'd be like height, weight, eye color, hair color. Uh, I don't know. Shoe size. What are people looking for in this? Eyelash color, hair color, eye color, ear color, hair color. Length. This is a bad one, I think. I think we need to step back. Data export, profile data. That's how we track that. Who and what, who and the what. what are you looking for? And you find it through answering questions about yourself and questions about what properties the other person should have in your match. We have the header, the item. Show data. An item is specific to the item. I'll put that on top. Item. Then we got the header category, which could be could be a core thing, could be a lifestyle thing, could be a vice thing. Then we got the primary category. So for like for a vice, it'd be drinking. How do people navigate this? Like when you click into your, like, do they say yes to core? No, these are just high level categories. They can't say yes or no to these. These are just like, they click it or go into these for these headers. Then you have the primary and secondary. We have a primary, then sometimes it has a secondary to it. That's it. It has two levels deep. I really want it to be like a keyword system, but this is the easiest static way I can think about it. I can't think about it in a dynamic matter. I want to go for like a category page and then have different items under that listed, which is essentially the system. And it lists people like, then it lists at the top level like what kind of category are you looking for under this vice? What kind of category are you looking for under this lifestyle? Are you looking for a traveling lifestyle? Are you looking for traveling lifestyle questions? Are you looking for so many things. I need to categorize it. This is important. Ugh. I think this is a good start. How long have we been going? 47 minutes. I'll do my nighttime routine, go to bed, think about it. Maybe some nice dreams will come to me and I'll figure out how to sort all this stuff. Maybe I'll ask ChatGPT. And then they'll give me every answer I'm looking for. Sometimes. It's more of an idea generator, but I think I have something going here. Just have to really define the details on how it should work and really think if it's possible to do all these things and have it work properly. Like, what are people looking for? And I'm trying to like narrow that down into these different categories of how you can make these informed decisions and want to present the data in a meaningful format. And I think flags and this general numbers and statistics and letting people make these informed choices and figuring out how many people can get filtered out by different things and being able to use these filters in a way that gets you to the person you want to find. Are you looking for someone that you want to share a specific lifestyle with? Are you looking for someone that wants to do a specific thing? Are you looking to create a certain mood? What are you looking for? Because I want each match to matter. I want each match to go like, I think I've investigated this person enough. I've seen my options, and I think this currently is the best person that would be for me. Then you go on the date, and then you find out, is this person the best thing for me? Then at that point, you can adjust. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then you can adjust to find, like, use that as a learning experience to find out what you're truly looking for. What didn't match your criteria in that interaction? Is there a filter for that? Let's try to create that filter for it. Can you capture that filter in a program? Do you need a different method to do that? This is only one of several methods that could be done to try to find someone. This isn't the perfect method, but it's a start. We can combine different methods. Do experimentation, do science here. Do some relationship science. Find out what works in this modern age of dating. With this sea of choice, how can you find who you're looking for? And with that, I will end it. So thank you very much for watching or listening, and I hope to make this dream come a reality.